Jayne, thanks very much for joining me today. And you're looking really, really good. And I'm so delighted. And, you know, if you think back about how we met up again, the meeting was so profound. So do you want to elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, so I can't remember, like I said, the exact time frame, but it was towards the end of the year. And I've already been diagnosed with cancer, and I had started chemotherapy, which I wasn't too happy about, but you know, you're going along with it because that's what we all believe, seemingly, to whatever. And so therefore, suddenly out of nowhere, I get this message on Messenger, and it's from yourself. And it's like, "Hi, Jayne, how are you?" or something to that effect. And it's, I'd been on your mind for the last while, and maybe we could meet up for tea or coffee at some point, something to that effect anyway. Yeah. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, I haven't seen Marian Egan in about 6, maybe go to 7 years now. And it's like, and I was like, and I did actually think for a split second, God, now Marian knows nothing about me, and that Marian doesn't know I have cancer, or, you know, or anything that's going on at the moment. And for some people, they might think, oh, wow, that's really weird that, you know, somebody's back in touching base, whatever. And I just thought, this is happening for a reason, because you are a very good person, as we know. And obviously, I was going to touch base with you. So I remember responding to you, and then we were going to meet up for tea or coffee, and then that, for under different circumstances, didn't happen. So then lo and behold, let that go. And then post-Christmas, you did get in touch with me again. And then we did. And actually, the amazing thing, this is actually something I didn't actually talk to you about. You got in touch with me again and said, okay, so do you want to meet for the tea or coffee? And I said, fine. And then you did say to me, in fairness, in the message, did you, Marian, want to call to my house, or we would meet in the Springfield or one of those places for a tea or coffee, or I'd call up to you. And for some reason I thought, well, I'll get myself out of the house and I'll have a little trip up to your house. And it's just the way I figured it in my head. So I said, fine, okay. And I said, right, I'll go up to you then, just so I can have a little trip out of the house. And I went up to yourself, and then lo and behold, you have the ionic foot bath, which I was aware of, but I'd forgotten all about. I had forgotten all about that. And clearly that alkalizes the body. And you did very kindly gave me a treatment that day, and we had a chat. And then you did produce these wonderful cards. And the synchronicity for me was the fact that I had cancer. I need to alkalize my body. We have the ionic foot bath. I am totally aware of, I'm not going to say into, because I think into is a bit, you know, like being into something else anyway, but I was very aware of frequencies. I'm very aware of numerical messages. I'm very aware of cards. I'm very open to receiving messages as well, for the highest good, obviously. And suddenly you have this beautiful deck of cards, and they're all about frequency numbers, and I'm blown away. I don't know why we're always like, we're always amazed when something that we're thinking about suddenly happens, even though we are manifesting it anyway. And then suddenly, like, you have all these energy stuff that I can use on my journey, as well as reconnecting for the greater good of everything. I have these tools. I've been given extra tools, that's what I would call them, to help me on my current journey of cancer, because I've no fear of the cancer. I've no fear of illness like that, but anything that will help me to raise my awareness, or in the physical world here, help me out. Yeah. Alkaline body, use the messages. I mean, like I'd said to you prior to this, I did some cards before we started this call with myself, and it validated, the cards validated everything that I was thinking about. And it's not about going around picking the cards. They were random, they fell out, and they were vibrating with the frequency that I was feeling.
Wonderful.
If you understand. And like you said, I have the ionic, but like everything that the tools that you have given to me at this moment in time are very much in the same time frame as me being on this journey with cancer at the moment.
Yeah.
So your sudden, it's like the 7-year itch, wasn't it? Like we haven't seen each other for nearly 7 years, like the 7-year itch, and now suddenly you're scratching my back again, but I've responded.
Nice way of putting it. Yeah.
So it's really interesting, and like obviously it's lovely to meet up with you again. It's lovely to be back on this journey, and it's just, I think even like after 7 years, I probably was on a bit of a self-destruct then for the last few years, and I'm coming back out of this again. There's reasons for everybody getting ill, absolutely, totally, reasons that why we make ourselves diseased. I'm on that journey now, and I have an awful lot more of enlightenment than I would have had several years ago. I feel we're all still learning, we're all still in the journey, but it's just, and I'm not even going to use the word irony. You're meant to come back,
Yeah.
as part, like as part of my journey, and give me tools to help me raise my awareness and raise my vibration. I'm not going to say to give me tools to help me. I mean, obviously it's helping me, but it's me helping myself. So it's giving me the tools to help me help myself, to raise my vibration, my energy. And no matter what way it works for you, whatever way you want to look at it, if it's raising my vibration and raising my energy, then therefore it works. It works for me.
Yeah. And that energetic connection, that's why I kind of stay tuned in, because when I say tuned in, it's just being still and listening. And
yes,
we do have an innate intelligence to heal ourselves. And
we do.
when I have that stillness and somebody's name drops in, and if it drops in for the second or third time, I just say, well, look, I have got to get in touch. And that's what I do. And I'm so delighted that I was able to do that with you. It's when you needed it most, and to be able to assist you on your journey. And as you say, your journey is teaching you quite a lot. Your awareness is so much more profound now than it was, and it's true. Like even for myself, when I was taken out of, the everyday life as such, I learned so much about myself. Like it became my university of life, because I learned how to be me,
Yes.
And sometimes we're so busy with doing this, doing that, and doing the other, we don't take time just to be.
Well, that's exactly it, Marian, because even the day before I started chemotherapy last year, I was working in a new job where I was up at 4 a.m, not getting back till 7 or 8 o'clock at night time. And it was a fun job. Don't get me wrong. Totally fun job. And I'll do it again whenever. But it was just like, I'd always worked. I'd ran a business for years. Then I'd stopped. And then I was kind of lost for a while. And then constantly trying to find ways to make myself busy and trying to get clients all the time. And then suddenly I get this job and I'm earning good money and everything is great. Then everything's starting to come around. What I think is starting to come around. The kids are older suddenly, and then I'm suddenly getting this job and I'm suddenly earning a few bob and things are going great. But what I haven't realized is I've never stopped. I've never stopped. I've never stopped and thought about anything. Yeah. And then suddenly I get this illness given to me. And I remember standing there when I knew my heart and soul I had cancer anyway. I just knew it. So when they told me about it, I had no fear of it. It was like, okay, let's move on. What are we going to do? And the only thing being offered to me is chemo at the moment, but I'm on a different journey. That's fine. And then suddenly, and my brain is starting to freeze again. And yeah,
and that happens. Yeah.
Gone.
Mm-hmm.
But the journey is amazing, isn't the fact of the reintroduction of, say, yourself back into when I need it the most. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Sorry. Okay. We've just had a little battery revamp there. Yeah. But right up until the day before I was getting chemotherapy, I was still working. I didn't take any time off. Nobody knew. My family didn't even know that I had this illness. I'm not going to say sick because it's the wrong word, because I'm not sick. I don't feel sick.
Yeah.
I have a visitor at the moment. And that's about the way I'm looking at that. And then suddenly I was continuously working. And the day I went in to get chemo, I was wrecked. I was tired. I was like, I'd been flat out working the whole time up. And then I suddenly got chemo and thinking, I will be fine. I can deal with this, because I've never done chemo before. So I haven't a clue, have I? I'm not going to be one of those sick people. And that's it. By the Sunday, I was completely flattened. I'd gone from I'm not on tablets for anything prior to chemo. I'm not on blood pressure. I've managed to get to 52, 53 this year. I'm not on a tablet for anything. And suddenly I'm loaded with the worst chemo you can get, and the AC chemo. And I couldn't cope at all. And I went back to the doctor. I said, I'm never doing this again. I can't do this. It's wrong. I can't. My brain is gone. It's just messing with my whole system. Then I do give in, and I start on the journey of chemo. And to be honest with you, I was thinking, okay, I think this is the way it has to be. I'll just stick it out. I'll get the chemo. I'll do that. I'll do what's expected of me, and we'll just run with it, and it'll all be fine. And then, of course, just along with this, I've been doing my own research anyway, but I won't get into that because it's everybody's own journey. But I just think the biggest part of my journey, and the most thing that's been helping me at the moment, is these cards and the ionic foot bath, because I know, because I learned about the whole alkaline thing as well, even before you gave. I didn't realize that alkalinized the body.
Yeah, it does.
But I was aware of the body being alkaline, because cancer can't live in an alkaline body. It only lives in an acidic body. I knew that anyway. And then suddenly, after doing the ionic foot bath that first day that we met, you said to me before I left, you said that alkalinizes your body. And I was like, what were the chances? Because I wasn't aware when you did. I knew it cleansed the parasites and toxins out of your body, but I wasn't aware of it making your body alkaline.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh my God, that's exactly what I've been talking about. That's what I've been reading about, along with other things like food and other bits and pieces. But I think it's hugely important that we suddenly reconnected, and you had that tool for me to use as part of my journey.
Yeah.
And like I said to you, the frequency numbers on the cards, amazing, considering that's what I connect with all the time, is numbers, frequencies. I could suddenly look at a book there now while we're talking, see 4 5s, and go, oh my God, I understand what that means.
And it was interesting what you were saying there about the cards when you were choosing them, that 3 of them fell out, and then another 3 fell out.
The 3 kind of, the way you're shuffling, and I found personally for me, and it worked, when I shuffle, I don't wait to pick cards. One or 2 will pop out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So these 3 had kind of popped, as I was shuffling, and one would sit up, and I go, okay, there's my 3 cards. Then just as I'm about to put the deck down, 3 kind of fell out of the deck and onto the ground here beside me.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's fine. I do the cards. Then I noticed the color coordination between the first 3 and the second 3, which I didn't notice till I put them together or separately. No, I had the 3 here, and then I had 3 here. And then I sat back and I looked and went, oh my God, there's the same, obviously not the same numbers, but the same pattern of colors.
Yeah.
But literally I can't remember what I said. I know I said the second 2 were purple and blue. And but it could have been like blue there. It's the way that they lined up together.
Okay. Yeah.
The lining.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I'm putting them all away and I'm putting the deck away, these 3 slip to the side as well. And they're like the validation, not that I was looking for, because you don't look for things, you just wait for, I'm not saying even wait for it to happen. I don't say the wrong words here. But just, yeah, and like I said, the 9 cards, and then like all of last week, the number 9 was very, was just popping to me.
Yeah.
999 everywhere, 9, and not just 9, because then you can see, but it was literally 999 was just popping out everywhere. And like you said, the activation code here to get into the room was 999.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It is amazing.
All numbers are powerful, but the number 9 this week is really powerful.
So tell me this, how are you feeling today?
I feel absolutely great, I have to say. And I will make this quite clear, because this is my personal journey. Obviously, I do feel wonderful. I have stopped taking certain medication for a while. And I just feel that on my journey with the tools that I am being given, it's really helping me a lot in my vibration, my energy, in my thinking. Whereas I couldn't do this if I was still on specific medication at the moment.
Okay. Well, the main thing is that you do take care of yourself every day. You're going to continue to use the foot bath, the bodyguard. And I would say with the numbers you got today, that's sufficient for the moment. You don't need any more numbers. So I'm not going to do any cards with you.
I don't feel the need for you to do any either. It's fine. I didn't know what to validate. Maybe it's just as well, because it probably saved a bit of time anyway. And I'll send you the pictures of the cards and the numbers that that chose me. I'm going to see what chose me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jayne, I definitely choose them.
Yeah, well, listen, thank you so much for sharing your story, and I'm sure it will help a lot of people who are listening to the call. And I really, really appreciate you joining me, and thank you for your words of wisdom.
And Marian, thank you for coming back into my life.
Well,
helping me on this journey.
Keep your antenna up, and when somebody comes into your thought pattern, it usually means that they need to hear from you. It's just like, the way people say, oh, I thought of so-and-so, next to all they rang me on the phone.
I know.
It's that is the frequency of the thought, of the energy of the thought.
We don't listen to our gut feelings all the time. I mean, I remember, like, I mightn't have seen a client for ages, and I go, oh my God, I'm just picking a random name here. Where's Hillary? And then Hillary turns up after months being missing. It's like, we don't listen enough to our gut instinct. We're too busy passing it off.
Yeah, we're just too busy sometimes. Yeah. And it's just to take it, every day is the present, and it is your present. So live in the presence and in the presence of yourself and what's happening, and do take time. Time out is wonderful, because if you don't take time out will be made for you.
Well, that's the other thing I meant to throw in there, actually, because I've been on this journey now. I literally am chilling out and I'm doing nothing. And I'm not ashamed of that. And I'm not going to say I should be doing. I've gotten to even that stage. I don't feel the need to do anything. I don't feel the need to pressure myself to do anything. Take the time, and it doesn't matter. Okay, that's probably another day's conversation, but just take the time, and it is important. And a lot of the reasons, I'm not saying all, why we do get a disease is to calm you down and make you stop, think. I've never researched so much stuff. I've never had the time.
Yeah, it's time. Yeah.
Now I'm having the time, and I'm being given tools. I'm being reintroduced.
Yeah.
And I'm listening.
Great.
Sometimes you don't take that time. It's like, yeah, I'll do that. And I'm guilty myself. I'll do that tomorrow, which I still do. We are all guilty of that. We're only human at the end of the day. Yeah, take that time. Listen to your body, as you've said to me many times as well. Sit down. Enjoy doing nothing. Actually enjoy it.
Well, you're actually doing something, because you're giving your body the chance and what it needs to heal itself.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So it's important that we do take that time out and enjoy it, so. Yeah,
and I am enjoying it. I actually am. As far as I'm concerned, winter is definitely for hibernating. So yeah, I'm getting ready for the spring.
Lovely. And you know what? You look great, and I'm delighted to catch up. And thank you so much for sharing your journey.
I took my hat off for you today.
And
so I'd let everybody see me in my raw form. No makeup, no hat, no hair.
Well, your hair is growing back now, which is lovely. Really
God, yeah.
So I look forward to touching base with you when we do it in person, and enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you.
And thank you, Marian. Lovely to see you.
You too.
Yeah.
Stay well.
All right. Thanks, Marian. Bye.